okay with you meal time? No kids allowed. I'm only joking. I'm only joking. Assalamu alaikum. First of all, I have to give a confession. I'm not wearing these glasses to be cool. And you know, I got punched in the eye, so I can't see that well. Shh. Ya Rijal. Shabab, ijlisu, yalla. So, inshallah, this is a very important topic. It's one that's dear to my heart. It's a scary topic also, bullying. But what I like to do before I say what I want to say is I want to pick a couple of people randomly. Let me see. I'll start with you. And I want everyone to listen. What is, yes, stand up. What is bullying? Intimidating someone. Bullying, intimidating people, making them feel less, putting them down. What is bullying? Think you're better than someone. Yes, sir.
Tearing down someone else's self-esteem.
Tearing down someone else's self-esteem, mashallah. Young lady, what would you say bullying is? Yeah. Huh? No, you can't say what everyone else says. You have to have your own words, your own expression. Think about it. When we come back to you, I just did. Okay, I'll come back to you. Yes, bullying. To belittle people. Okay, to belittle people. Yes, sir.
To make fun.
To make fun. Okay. What do you say, sir? Bullying. Disrespect people, something you like to do? Sir? Harassment. I like that. Mr. Amir, what is bullying? Showing people or someone that you're better than them. What do you say bullying is? Huh? To lower someone's self-esteem. Yes, my sister.
Using somebody's weaknesses against them.
Woo! Say that again. Using somebody's weakness against them. Yes, ma'am. Tearing someone down in order to bring yourself up.
Inflicting harm, both mentally or physically.
Ooh. Inflicting harm mentally or physically. All that you have said is correct. Now I have a question that only you can be honest about. If you don't want to be honest in public, because you feel ashamed, that also means that the person that was bullying you has been successful, because even in confronting them, they're still a part of you. Is there anyone willing to raise their hand to say that they have experienced bullying firsthand, or they have seen other people bullied before? If you've seen people get bullied, put your hands down. How many of you have been bullied by someone? There are more people here that won't raise their hand. I know who you are. How many of you have been bullied at least once in your lifetime? Raise your hand. Hi. Hi. Now, listen. How many of you have bullied someone before, knowingly? Listen up, fellas, listen up. To the boys, listen. How many of you have bullied someone, whether it's been a sibling? Wait. You don't count bullying someone who's a family member? Oh, wait, let me tell you something right now. Some children, their worst experiences in life have taken place in the home. And sometimes when we bully people in our family, we think that they should know we're just joking and playing with them, but they don't. So when you bully people, you can cause serious mental to the person that can last for a lifetime. There's some people right now that are adults. Because they were bullied their whole life and always told what to do and always lived in a state of fear, right now as adults, they live that way. Some parents are scared of their children. Yeah. Sometimes a wife is afraid of her husband in the sense that she's afraid to speak her mind because he may not agree, or he may retaliate, or he may be vicious in his response, and that's what her father did, or that's what her mother did, so she takes on the same characteristics in adulthood that she took on as a child to survive. Same thing. A man could have been bullied his whole life by his father. His father could have made him feel that he was less than human. There's one thing you'll learn about life if you're blessed to live a long time. You'll never forget how people make you feel in your years of childhood. There's some people right now, you can sit with them, they're in their 60s and 70s, and they'll tell you, you know, I remember when I was 5 years old, that my father smacked me so hard. And he said to me, you know what? You're just a loser, kid. You know that? You're stupid, you're a loser, you'll be nothing. Or, you meet an adult who they say, you know, I could just never be as good as my sister. What do you mean? Well, my mother would always say, you know, I don't know what happened to you, but your sister is sure smarter than you are. I don't know what happened to you, but your sister is prettier than you are. I don't know what happened to you, but your sister seems to be a better Muslim than you are. I don't know what happened to you, but your sister is much more neater, and you're just a pig. You're so sloppy and disgusting. No, these words affect you. You go to school, and you get excited, and you want to give a teacher a paper you have written. You was up all night writing this paper. And you give it to your teacher, and the teacher goes, who wrote this? This is so stupid. Did your mother, father help you write this? You're like, no, I found it in the hallway. I didn't write it, I just was showing it to you. And then, for the rest of your life, you could be afraid to pick up a pen and write anything else. Why? Because someone made you feel a way that connected to your mind in a way that it made you feel less than your own greatness. Now, bullying comes in many forms, and it's very dangerous. There are children who have taken their lives because they went to public schools or private schools, and the kid next to them was bullying them. If you are a bully by chance, today is when you stop. Bullying is not funny, it's not a game, it's dangerous. And there are young people who have ended their lives because they were bullied by a peer or family member to the extent mentally they couldn't take it no more. And they go home, and they get a rope, and they go in the bathroom, and they say, I ended here. A boy 12 years old took his life in Atlanta. You have internet. Google kids who take their own lives after bullying. Bullying is dangerous. And most people who are bullies are not even conscious of the wickedness of their own behavior. You know how I know? I never made this confession before. I was a bully. And I was a little guy. Stand up. You. Yeah, come here. No, you too big. Come here, you. I'll come here.
He's a bully.
I'll come here. Bashir, come here. Come up here, Bashir. Actually, yeah, I use Bashir. Yeah, you. Put your son down. I was a bully, but I never bullied kids my size. I went for guys his size. Look. Would you ever think he would be scared of him? Just looking, would you ever think that? But you know what? A guy like this can easily scare a guy like this, all depending on the size of his heart. If he has the heart of a chicken, and he's a coward, and he has the heart of a lion from the desert in his viciousness, he'll be scared of him. Both of you sit down. I used to, before Islam, I used to hang out, as a little kid, I hung out with big kids. And they would tell me. They would say, E, come here. You see that guy right there, the big guy? I said, yeah. They said, go smack him. And I would do it. That one right there? I said, yo, come here, man. Put your hands down. I said, put your hands down. Not true. I'm role playing. I would tell the big guy, let me look this way. Put your hands down. And a big guy, maybe 19, 20 years old, muscular, real big, could crush me if you breathed on me. And I would tell him, put your hands down. And I would just take my hand like this, smack his face. And he would just stand there. And I would say to him, go in your pocket and give me everything. And he would go in his pocket and give me everything. I was a little guy. When I used to come down the street, the big guys would see me coming and I would see them run. They would just scatter and run. And you know what that comes from? Ignorance. But I had bigger friends behind me that if any big person tried to hurt me, they would jump that person. Right? That's all Jahiliyyah. Ignorance. It's when you have the mind of a savage and you're uncivilized. It's true. People bully people for many different reasons. Sometimes it's their own lack of self-confidence, and sometimes it's a lack of them having purpose in life, or it's the negative influence of others that they themselves want to be accepted, so we do things to other people to be accepted by others because that's the criteria. Sometimes when you go to school, girls do this a lot. Girls pick on other girls as a group. You come to school and you see those ugly shoes she got? They're really ugly. Or girls will say, you know what? You can sit with us for lunch. She can't come over here. The stupid one right there, the blonde stupid, she can't come over here. No, girls do this to each other a lot. I'm shocked myself that girls do this to each other. That girls put other girls down and rock their spirit to the extent that a girl goes home second guessing her beauty, her intelligence, her just everything. Nothing is good enough. So now, bullying, you know it's evil. I want to tell you how to deal with bullying. First of all, bullying is psychological. If a person knows that you're afraid of them, they will always push up on you. Any of you in sports like karate or boxing? Nobody does boxing here? Nobody does karate? Okay. Does anybody here had a fight? Anybody ever had a real fight in your lifetime? You had a fight? You guys are really, you guys are like, I mean a physical fight. Have you ever had to, you know? Have you ever had to, hit them, knock them out? Listen, let me tell you something. I want you to go watch a fight. Listen, I want to tell you something about fighting. Whenever a person is fighting an opponent, all right? Whenever you're fighting, even in sports, in the ring, right? The minute I'm fighting a guy in the ring and I hit him, and I notice he's scared, once I sense his fear, I don't back up, I become more aggressive, right? When you're scared of somebody, they don't step back, they step forward. I'm gonna use the jungle, for example. You ever watch a lion trying to hunt the prey? When a lion sees, for example, the gazelle, or he sees a zebra, once the zebra shows fear and begins to run, the lion is not merciful and says, oh, guys, pull out. This guy's scared of us. No, they say he's scared, get him. No, I want to tell you this. This works on all levels. It works with children. It works in adulthood. It works with countries. There are countries right now that bully other countries. Right now. There are countries that make a phone call right now to another country and say, listen, Mr. President, you will no longer be the president of that country. Wait, what are you talking about? Yeah, this is the call from the big boys. You're out, Mr. President. Step down. I want you to have election in 6 months. And there's some country leaders, they go like this. Yes, sir, boss. And they step down and leave. Then there's some country leaders who say, wait, this is my country. How you gonna call me from a foreign land and tell me what to do? Then the person who's the bully says, oh, you don't hear what we're telling you? All right, troops, get ready. And there are countries that bomb other countries because they're bullies. And they want to enforce their will on a people who they think is less than themselves. It happens on all levels. In business it happens. Some merchants, If you have a small business in a small community, big business people come. They say, you know, you want to sell your little store? You're like, no. I say, you better sell it. I say, I don't want to sell it. I say, well, you're going to be out of business. I want your land. I want it now. Walmart is coming through. I say, well, I'm not selling to Walmart. You're not selling to Walmart. You know who Walmart is? Walmart is one of the #1 corporations in America that employs the American people. They have over 175,000 employees. What do you mean you're not moving out the way? Walmart is coming. I say, I don't want to sell. I've been in this business for 30 years. My father gave me this business. I'm not going to sell. Well, people in Walmart and major corporations, they hire some of the biggest attorneys. They grease the palms. You know what greasing the palm is, right? They give a bribe to politicians. And then before you know it, you got a piece of property. You don't want to give it up. The city comes, puts a lien on your property. You get sued for back taxes. You get all kind of violations. Now, your property was worth $50,000, but you got legal fees and you got what you call citations put on your property by the city that now fighting Walmart becomes worthless to you because you'll spend all your money. And at the end, you'll wind up broke. So you know what people do? They say to Walmart and big companies, you got it. You got oil in your country? Oh, we need that oil. What do you mean we can't have it? Who said so? It's my oil. It ain't your oil. You don't hear Donald Trump when he says, we'll bomb them and take the oil? He means that. And there are people who bully on many different levels. So now when you go to school, especially with all that's going on now, you gotta be smart. First of all, as a Muslim, never allow yourself to live in fear of human beings. That's one of the #1 things. As a Muslim, you have to fear Allah alone. And you can't have the spirit of a coward. Do you know Prophet Muhammad ﷺ used to pray to Allah that he not be a coward? Anybody know that dua? The Prophet used to pray to Allah that he would not be a coward, nor be overtaken by debt, nor by poverty. It's a great prayer. Who has Google with them? Who has Uncle Google? Go to Google now. Type in the Prophet Muhammad's prayer on being a coward. Hey, I like Siri, by the way. Call Siri. Siri, Prophet Muhammad's hadith on coward, on being a coward. It's a dua. You gotta give a shahada first. Now I want you to really see the hadith. Because a coward dies a death 1,000 times. As a Muslim, as a young person with dreams and great aspirations, the one thing you can afford to be is afraid of anybody. To be who you were blessed to be. Yes, sir. You got it? Here we go. My boy Bassam stepped his game up now. Allahumma inni a'udhu bika. Hold tight, hold tight. نعم لكن أنت هل فهمت الحديث باللغة العربية؟ تفهم اللغة العربية؟ طيب أعطيني الترجمة. Give me the translation. Listen up. يلا 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 بسرعة يلا.
No, it was work.
لا في أكثر من هذا. طيب تعال يا حبيبي الكريم تفضل تعال. سنسمع هذا الرجل يقرأ علينا الترجمة. تعال باسم يلا. Give the translation. Everybody listen. Everybody listen up.
Oh Allah, I take refuge in you from anxiety and sorrow. Oh Allah, I take refuge in you from anxiety and sorrow, weakness and laziness,
Yes.
miscellaneous and cowardice,
Yes.
the burden of debts and from being overpowered by men.
SubhanAllah. Now that's a hadith. Thank you, sir. Oh. Listen, I'm not going to tell you anything that's not part of your deen. The Prophet used to seek refuge from Allah from anxiety, which is the peak of fear. Some people have anxiety and they're so afraid, they think about things that have never happened and they predict will happen. They're so scared. There's some people that have anxiety over a bridge. When they go over the bridge, they say, God, please don't let the bridge fall. I swear, don't let this bridge. They think the bridge gonna fall. Some people have anxiety from the escalator. They say, escalator, I ain't getting on that. You gonna fall. Why are you so negative? People are socialized and mentally conditioned in this environment to live in fear, constantly fear. Sometimes when you live in the Muslim world, everything you have to be afraid of. You have to be afraid of your mother, your father, the teacher, the government, the police. Everybody's afraid. And that robs you of your greatness as a human being, because success can never flourish where there's fear. You can't be successful if you're afraid. I told somebody, go and see if Harvard University will accept your application. Harvard? They won't accept somebody like me. Harvard, they don't like me. Well, what's wrong with you? You don't see what's wrong with me? I'm a Muslim. Really? You don't even think we all bad people? Really? Most people in America don't think Muslims are bad people. Most people in America aren't even thinking about the Muslims. They're thinking about paying their bills. They're thinking about Black Friday. They're thinking about this guy Santa Claus that's coming down and the turkey and the Easter. That's what they're thinking about. They're thinking about baseball and basketball, the latest jersey, the latest perfume, the latest music, the latest iPod, the new Apple. Most people in America are not thinking about the Muslims in general. However, people like Donald Trump, who wants to become the next president, who I'd say he's a savage that must be civilized. He knows that there's a segment of American people that he can play on their fears. And if he plays on their fears correctly, some of those people, unfortunately, will strike at Muslims. You know, we had a Muslim sister in New York, right? She was harassed with her baby, and the guy spit in her face. He tried to, right? And he told her, where's your mosque at so I can blow it up. We had another sister in London. She was standing waiting for the train. Did you see that? Sister was waiting for the train, and the guy pushed her, right? Right. We had a guy, Paul, in Florida. There was a guy who called and said he's going to blow up every mosque. He said he would shoot Muslim kids in the head as young as 2 years old. This is what he said, right? That's made to intimidate us. Right? That's made for us to become afraid. Oh, they're going to get us. What are we going to do? We have to leave. Get on the next plane. Let's go. No. As a Muslim, alhamdulillah, we don't go nowhere. We trust in Allah. We live as productive citizens of this country, and we pursue the greatness of our dreams. So now, the bullying, psychological first. See, when I grew up as a kid, my first teacher on fighting was my mom. My mom was blessed to have 7 kids, 5 boys and 2 girls. My first punch in my chest was from my mom. She hit me one day, she was like, bam! Whoa! She said, don't you ever run from anybody. If someone hits you, you hit them back. But you hit them hard. She said, if I see you run, I'm not telling you to do this. My mother said, if you run, you're going to get 2 beatings. One from the person that you ran from and one from me. That's right. So I went to school as a kid from day one, never with the idea that another kid is going to bully me. And then when I became a Muslim, I had a better understanding that no one has the power outside of me to tell me who I am and what I represent. But there's one great opportunity you have. Being a Muslim, when people are negative towards you, if it's because of your religion, it's the perfect opportunity for da'wah. But if you're afraid in life, you can't win. People who are afraid lose every day. But if you trust in Allah, and have confidence in Allah, and know that as a human being you have a legitimate right to always protect and defend yourself, then people in most cases, they won't bother you. Bullies never pick on people that will fight them back. They don't do it. Bullies always look for the weak link. The person that is always afraid. You know the easiest way to tell if somebody's afraid of you? No, just look in their face. When you look at somebody like that, you can tell if they're scared. Really, just looking somebody in the eye, like that. If you look at somebody long enough, and people are bullies, that's one of their first techniques. They'll just look at you, and you'll go like, let me take my glasses, maybe I can do it. You know, somebody look you in the eye, and you go. You see them coming down the hall. I've seen students do this. The guy who's the bully is coming, you see them coming down the hall, you run. You go in the bathroom, you hide, you go in the stall, you wait, hoping that they'll pass you by. But bullies, they wait for you. Because you can smell fear. So as a Muslim, right, Allah gives us a beautiful verse in the Quran about dealing with ignorant people. Anybody know that verse? How do you deal with ignorant people in the Holy Quran? Huh? First thing Allah says, إِذَا بِسْمِ اللَّهِ الرَّحْمَنِ الرَّحِيمِ إِذَا خَاطَبَهُمُ الْجَاهِلُونَ قَالُوا سَلَامًا. So as a Muslim, your first mechanism of defense is when ignorant people approach you, give them the greetings. But do it with dignity. Because sometimes the bully is a lonely kid that is looking for attention, that is looking for friendship, that is looking for direction. But sometimes in the bullying circle, to be accepted, you have to go to the extreme and do something that is contrary to human consciousness. So now, the people in the time of the Prophet Muhammad, can you think of any experience where the people tried to bully the Prophet's companions? Anything you can think of? Yes, sir.
All the Prophet's companions.
Or the Prophet. Did anybody try to bully the Prophet around? Make him do things that he didn't want to do? Yes.
When he went to the town to spread the message, and the kids started throwing rocks at him.
What town did he go to? When the Prophet went to Taif, they threw rocks and stones at him. And he was bleeding. But as the example that he was, the Prophet in his wisdom, he never asked for their destruction. He didn't ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to destroy the people. He asked Allah to have mercy on them so that perhaps their children will embrace the faith. Can you think of a Sahaba that was bullied by the people? Yes. Who? Ammar bin Yasir. What happened to him?
His parents.
Listen up.
His parents were killed in front of him.
Parents was killed in front of him.
And he was forced to call another god to
He was forced to call another God besides Allah. Yes. Bilal, when they laid the rock on Bilal's chest, and they wanted him to denounce Allah, and what did Bilal say? Ahad, 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 right? God is one, God is one. I'm telling you right now, there's enough examples in the Quran and the life experience of the Prophet and the companions to show you and I as Muslims, the one thing you can't be is afraid of other people. Cannot be afraid. Especially the brothers. How many of you brothers have sisters? How many of you brothers have a sister? When I said a sister, I said how many brothers have sisters, and I know a brother here whose hand is down. Okay. So now, I'm talking to the men. Can I talk to them for a second? I'm going to tell you brothers this if I never see you again. With all that's going on, make sure you protect your mothers and protect your sisters. You heard what I said? This may sound extreme, even if it means you lose your life for their safety. As a young man, you should always, as a Muslim, be willing to give your life for the dignity and the safety of your mother and your sisters. Anytime you have to choose between their dignity and their safety in your life for the sake of Allah, defend them even if it means your death. For in your death is their honor. Now that's extreme to some Muslims, but I say it everywhere I go. Because I remember when I became a Muslim, 30 years ago, in Brooklyn, nobody messed with Muslim women and Muslim brothers and sisters at night. Nobody. We can walk the street 3 o'clock in the morning. If a Muslim sister walked the street 3 o'clock in the morning with full hijab on, getting off the subway in the most roughest neighborhood, people would say, brother, back up. The sisters are coming. Back up. Brother, move back. She's Muslim. Move. When I grew up, that's what happened. When Muslim women walked down the street, people said, good morning, sister. How you doing, sister? Have a great day. They didn't disrespect Muslim women. When I grew up, I never heard of a Muslim sister headpiece getting pulled. Now this is extreme to some of you. When I grew up, if you pull a Muslim sister's headpiece off, you got the beating of your lifetime. That sounds extreme to some of you, I know. When I grew up, you could go to the masjid anytime and people respect you. When I grew up as a Muslim, when police came to the masjid, they would take their shoes off. In fact, I remember when the police wanted to come to the masjid, they would first call and they would have a supervisor. You know why? Because there was a sense of respect. Some of you have not studied the history of the growth and development of Islam in America. You need to pick up some of the books of the history of how Islam began and was established in America. I want to give you a man who was an example in the 21st century of being brave, who was being bullied by the big bullies. How many of you have ever read about the life and times of the greatest of all, Muhammad Ali? See? No, raise your hand. Let me tell you the tragedy of this experience right now. For the contribution Muhammad Ali made to make America a great country for all people, I am shocked that I have never seen a Muslim school yet in any curriculum in teaching about the legacy of great Muslims. I have never seen them yet include a man like Muhammad Ali. And he deserves to be in the books of every Muslim school in the world, because when he embraced Islam as he understood it, he changed his name. His name was Clash's Clay. He told the people, I'm not Clash's Clay. My name is Muhammad Ali. And a fighter named Sonny Liston, who was the heavyweight champion, he said, I will never call you Muhammad Ali. You will always be Clash's Clay to me. And Ali fought him in Madison Square Garden for the championship fight. And when Ali knocked him out, Muhammad Ali got over him and said, what's my name? Say my name. Because he had pride in being called Muhammad Ali. He changed his name. He changed his religion. He was raised in Christianity. He gave it up. He was so dedicated to Islam that he was willing to go to jail for 5 years for refusing to join the war in Vietnam. Muhammad Ali, a man of courage, who said you can take all the medals. They took away his Olympic medal. They took away his license to earn a living. They threatened him with jail. They threatened him with all kinds of things. But Muhammad Ali in America stood up based upon the principles of truth and based upon the courage of a man whose time has come. And he refused to give in. And today, Muhammad Ali is celebrated. He lit the torchlight for the Olympics. You need to study. I know my time is up, but I want to recommend to you guys, please, I'm begging you, go and read the life of Muhammad Ali. Get his books, watch his videos, watch the spirit of a man of the 21st century of courage. And I'm telling you now, if you want to stop being bullied by anybody, just stop being afraid of them. Learn, and last night Miriam showed a beautiful presentation on the power of the mind, right? You should go and Google how to overcome bullying and what is the source of building courage and becoming fearless. Not just when you're dealing with other people, but be a fearless person in life so that all your dreams can be fulfilled. And you don't never be afraid of failing, because failure is the gateway to success. You can never succeed in life until you first accept failure as a process. Yes, my sister. Yes, and I meant that. I mean both. If you go to a school and you see people picking on a Muslim sister, you organize yourself in a respectful way. Your first thing you do in school, if I can say this before we leave, when you see somebody being bullied, the first thing you do is you report it to the principal, not the teacher. Go to the head, right to the principal. Document it, record it. You know how people record things? Record and go right to the principal. Make sure you tell your parents, make sure you document everything. Because the first thing a bully would say is, I didn't do that, I didn't say that. But again, we don't have any more time. But I'm telling you right now, when people bully other people, you document it, you report it, and you have to learn to be able to tell your parents or tell someone that you feel close to that can tell somebody. Because there are Muslim kids, and I'm going to add, there are Muslim kids today who get bullied, and they go home, and their parents sometimes don't pay attention, but the kid has a total transformation. He was all happy and go-lucky and everything, and now he comes home, he's like this. You want to go to school? I don't want to go to school anymore. Why? What happened? I don't want to go to school. I don't feel good. I'm sick. He's not sick. He's afraid because somebody's bullying him. And I tell the parents who are here, pay close attention to your children, especially those who go to public institutions and those who go to Muslim schools that may have a full bullies. Because we have bullies too in our community. I've seen them. So I don't have no more time. I just was really getting started, to be honest with you. Don't say it with me. I am not afraid. No. You don't sound like you mean. Stand up. Stand up. Stand up. Everyone. I don't want you to say it like you're yelling. I want you to say it with full conviction. And if there's anybody that's been bullying you around, I want you to see their face in your mind's eye. And as of today, do not be afraid of anyone. So repeat after me. I am not afraid. I am not afraid. I am not afraid of anyone. I trust in Allah as my protector. And I am willing to stand up for myself and by myself if necessary. I am not afraid for the bullies of my life. I will crush you in due time. I will crush you in due time. I will use my mind. I will use all of my talents to be successful. I will crush you with my success. But I will not fail because of your fears. I was created for greatness. I was created for greatness. I am a special human being. I am one of a kind. Destined for greatness. Failure is not an option. I will rise. I will rise. And the bullies will fall. Go get the bullies. Assalamu alaikum.